Welcome all Pokemon players to a new edition of Inside the PFL, Week 4. I am joined by my co-host Mike. I should say this is Drac, first of all.
It is Drac. And I am the co-host. But yes, we are here for what is this, 4? Is this week 4? This was week 4. Week 4 of the Inside the PFL here. I'm hype. Get hype.
I'm hyped too. We had a lot of good matches this week. Nothing super explosive.
No, not a lot of explosions. I remember a lot of close. It was, I think it was a very average week. It was very, very middling. A lot of normal Pokemon shit happened, except for why? It always is Mitch, except for Mitch's game.
Except for Mitch's game. We will get to Mitch's game when we get there.
It's like that's the new saying of Inside the PFL.
I'm waiting with bated breath to cover that one. But without further ado, let's get over to our first match. It is my match against Hunter. Music off, click play. So, Sash Endeavor, turn 1. Was
Dude,
so good.
I remember I'm on the stream, right, and I'm like, man, Drac doesn't want to be here. And then like 3 turns later, I'm like, this is right where Drac wants to be.
Yeah, I knew that essentially leading Sash Endeavor was fairly free because it always claimed one. And on top of that, if he like leads Torn or Coco or Beedrill, he's going to have to wonder if this thing is scarfed, so it's going to be free rocks regardless.
Also, if you got burned on that Scald, that could have been super important.
It could have been. I expect Lycanroc to live a regular Scald with just and the subsequent burn damage, because obviously Endeavor doesn't matter if you're burned. But
yeah.
That's not the world that happened. It was a crit, so thankfully it didn't burn. Also,
you being forced into taking Earthquakes with Steelix was interesting too.
Yeah, it was. That was one of the things I wanted to bring up. The Booty Steelix was kind of super a problem because it for sure killed Nidoqueen and probably took care of Medicham as well. And losing either of those is a big issue because Nidoqueen is the check to Coco and Medicham is Medicham.
Yeah, like, I remember on stream just like, yep, alright, what takes this Earthquake now?
And that's honestly another reason why the Sash Endeavor play was so good, because imagine we're in the same situation, but Vaporeon is still alive, and I had random 5th Mon in my pocket who isn't Lycanroc.
Right. However, as long as you can stay 1 Mon ahead of him like you are, you could eventually just fake him out and switch to get rid of that Sash.
Right, exactly.
Also this was hilarious.
Yeah, a bit of a tanky sort of setup Silvally, because multi-attack is the Flame Charge. God, we calced that Hurricane miss after it, and it was a roll to kill.
Oh, okay. So even still, you might have survived.
Right.
This was Silvally normal, right?
Right, it was Silvally normal. Yeah, because I hit Z normal.
And when you hit Z normal here, this is not the Z normal I expected you to hit.
Oh, you expected a Z parting shot?
Right, like when I saw you come in as Silvally normal, I was like, well, this is Z parting shot, okay.
Right. Yeah, I was considering Z parting shot, but at the time
you didn't need it.
Yeah, at the time there was nobody really to get back up to full.
Right.
Okay, so a turn I want to talk about. Let me just go back. So when he was, not this turn, right after I killed Beedrill. So he hits U-turn on Silvally. I remember calcing this, and I would have lived a T-Bolt, I think. And he went for U-turn, right, to get chip. And in this situation, him clicking Volt Switch is actually pretty tricky on his part, because had I not gone into Nidoqueen here, then Steelix would have just come in for free after killing Silvally. So then he's potentially getting rid of another Coco check.
Yeah.
So it might look
he brought
bad.
U-turn and Volt Switch.
I mean, what other move is Coco gonna take if it's scarfed?
I guess.
It can maybe take it gets Brave Bird, right?
It does get Brave Bird.
But I mean, there's no reason with Deagleam, I guess, for the fighting types.
I love Nature's Madness, but I got shut down on stream for it, so I'm not gonna bring it up again. However, Nidoqueen being literal bulky Nidoking, just doing the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that an
Nidoqueen,
offensive spread, or were you more defensive?
it was well, it was modest 252, and then there was some mix of
Okay.
speed and HP in there.
Okay, so you were just speed creeping, but that's fair.
Yeah, pretty much.
It won you the game essentially. I think Nidoqueen got the most kills.
Yeah, I think Nidoqueen got 4 kills and Silvally picked up 2.
There you go, and it worked.
Yeah, so I'm very, very happy it turned out that way, obviously. Continuing my
yeah.
win streak.
You just went faster than Hunter did.
Which is funny, considering I'm going up against the Tornadus Tapu Koko Mega Beedrill team.
Right, but really you just have to play faster than he does, because he's going to lose if he doesn't win really fast.
Yep, that sure is true. And
Like 18 turns, short game.
Yeah, it's a fairly short game. And that's going to be the nature of most of Hunter's games, I think, just because he's going so fast.
I could agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
Well, with that, let's get over to the next battle. Jack and James, the other match from
Jack
my
battle.
division.
Loved this game.
This was super interesting. I loved some of the heat that James brought, and I was kind of on some other stuff.
Yep.
I do like that he's finally bringing Screen's Grimmsnarl, because that's
agree.
always an issue.
Yeah. You know, the screens are always good.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like Light Clay, you're way behind.
I
the eight
loved
ball.
this double. Oh, it wasn't a double. Never mind. I
Well,
still liked that switch.
It was a double. It was a double because I guess it wasn't a double, but you know, he scouts for the fire move by sending in Kartana behind the screen.
Right.
Also, Swift Swim Kritra. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Did he bring Swift Swim Kritra?
Yes, he brought Swift Swim.
I can't remember.
This is Swift Swim Kritra.
Is that why he wasn't critting with the focus energy?
He got the
was just
scope lens
hoping
knocked
that-
off.
Well, right, but like, doesn't it get? Oh, sniper just increases the damage.
Well, you also can't run both Sniper and Swift Swim.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he had sniper and focus energy, weren't those guaranteed crits?
Yes, yeah, it would be.
That's what I'm trying to say. I remember going, why wasn't he critting?
Yeah.
So,
Right, with just focus energy, it is a 50% chance to crit.
okay, so he was just getting it. James got some bad RNG this game.
Yeah.
Also,
I
Renegri is just doing shit right now.
Yeah, and Runerigus is in a super good spot with Muck dying there and burned and getting to hit the trick room.
Yeah. And then this thing.
Yeah.
This fucking
Carbolo.
thing.
It's so hard.
It's so good when it can move first.
Right, if he's in trick room, he's a big issue, but otherwise
Like,
he's just
look
got
at this
a million
damage.
weaknesses. That is we see on the side Iron Fist and Solid Rock. So
Jesus.
holy
I'm
cow.
surprised he wasn't going for drain punches earlier, but it could have been because of Gengar.
Yeah, because if you have an immunity on the other side, you cannot afford to lose a turn of Trick Room.
I love this too. James is like, get the fuck out of here. You are not getting behind us. You're gonna have to kill me.
Yeah, and
Which
just
he
like
does.
that, James is a mon ahead with Runerigus in the back pocket ready to hit that Z Memento, because earlier in the game we saw the knockoff not knock anything off, so we know that's a
Right.
Z Crystal.
That was James guessed wrong. I love
Okay.
the rain dance though. Love it.
it.
Rain dance Rotom Heat to fight Arcanine. Come on.
I think it was just James sort of recognized it was free setup for Kingdra, or to
Yeah.
get Kingdra in clean, because it's clearly a defensive Arcanine with the lineup that Jax brought.
And like Confuse Ray, come on. And he got no confusions either. Like,
Oh, he did.
He did. Never mind. I couldn't remember. I remember this game was very close. Like James could have won it.
Oh, for sure. I think had just a couple things gone differently, we might have been able to see James pull it out. Especially, man, getting Kingdra back in clean after it was so low and poisoned is astonishingly huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Because now it's just gonna start hitting buttons.
Mm-hmm. So in the rain, Scald and Draco are very comparable base power. So when we see James miss this, well, maybe not this turn, but he misses a Draco in a second.
And it's on him, is what you're trying to tell me?
Well, kind of. It's one of those things like you don't take unnecessary risks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. As somebody who hates Draco because it misses all the time. It always misses when you need it to hit.
It is super unfortunate. I don't know what Aerial Ace was really there for.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. All right. Were you and James here for this match?
No, I'm gonna go look at Jack's team.
Okay. Oh, it was for Mega Pinsir, I bet.
That would probably be it.
No.
Mega Pinsir. That's it. And Primate.
Oh, Mega Pinsir and Primate. Okay. And yeah, so after Gengar gets the wish passed to him, he sort of just gets to spam sub and fishing for a para, and he gets a turn one. And that's kind of all she wrote.
That's it, yeah. James can't break it anymore.
And this is kind of the second week in a row a Special Ghost has kind of swept James. So I wonder if he's going to make any adjustments in terms of strategy to... Oh, excuse me. Not let this happen again.
I was actually really surprised that he put the screens up there, especially with him throwing Crabominable away the first time. I thought he was just going to just keep slapping Gengar going, hey, no sub for you.
I think that would have just delayed the inevitable, because with
I agree.
everything killing through the screen and at +2, they balance each other out.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had the +2, you're right. I see what you're saying.
But a very well played to Jack. Got his win con in there clean behind a sub. What are you going to do?
Lose.
Yeah, lose.
Gengar is a great win con.
And a +4 for him.
Plot.
I think that was 5 kills for Gengar. Gengar took care of Crabominable early.
Yep.
Everyone except Runerigus, who killed itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So very, very good stuff.
That is good stuff. Good stuff.
Next match, we have Dave and Kyle. This is a super interesting match.
Dave versus Kyle. Yeah. I don't understand why Dave thinks he should have lost this game, but hey.
Well, we'll get to that in a second, I think. I like the start from Dave with Incineroar against essentially all of Kyle's team. It's a pretty free pivot.
Well, getting the Intimidate off on Bisharp's a little scary, but I mean, your fire type, so you're going to delete it anyway.
Right, and even if Bisharp has Brick Break, maybe, I think he would still be fine.
He'll live. He gets CC.
Well, regardless, gets a pretty clutch knockoff on Gligar. I like that a lot. Even if Malabar just gets U-turn twice, knocking off Gligar, stopping it from rolling everything.
Just U-turning through this thing.
So he, in exchange for Malabar, he gives up a little bit of the momentum. And now we get to see...
This was dangerous.
If this burning was Guts, Gutsmon?
Yeah. If that was Guts.
If is a big word.
Right.
However, I understand Kyle taking Thick Fat over Guts, because you don't always expect the Hex Dragapult.
Yeah.
Oh, and he gets another burn on Bisharp.
Yeah, Kyle is just getting things burned.
Well, it's a 50-50, right? Because you see Kyle has Pursuit. He obviously must have Sucker Punch because it's Bisharp. And Dave just sort of won the 50-50 war there.
Yeah, he didn't blink. He probably knew the Pursuit was coming and was like, I'm just going to hit buttons.
Right. Because it's scary. Because if either decision, you might die, right? Because if Bisharp clicks Sucker Punch there, Dragapult maybe wasn't dead with the burn, actually.
No, it hit Willow. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Right. I see what you mean.
And then if you switched out, Pursuit was obviously the better option, so it was just a 50-50.
I think Dave just played really well. I don't think he at any point should have lost this game. I know that there was a crit that he was fishing for some defense. No, yeah, he ended up fishing for some defense drops, but like still.
Right. We'll get to that in a second. And that knockoff is pretty big. You love to get the Rocky helmet off of
Yeah.
Toxapex.
Both these boys had Rocky helmets that are no longer on the team.
So Thundo comes in clean on Toxapex, right? And just gets the free nasty plot, and that is sort of where Kyle's team starts to fall apart.
It would be great if he got a flying move.
Yeah, if he got a special flying move, that would be great.
I'd even accept Hurricane.
I'm not so sure about the Z Dark on Gligar since he was at half, but I understand he just wants something to die.
Right, he probably expected something to switch in, honestly.
Yeah,
it's just
possibly.
Whatever happens right now, I'm killing something, was his logic. Look at that resisted damage.
That is so much.
That's so much damage.
That's so much resisted damage. Kyle does do a very good job of getting doubles and just waiting out Thundo on the toxic turns. I'm a big fan of that.
And that crit was huge.
That crit probably mattered, yeah.
But now Rillaboom just starts to kill itself with Life Orb as the game progresses.
Yep. Goes for Dark Pulse again.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't just slam T-Bolt again. It's neutral and Victini. It would have killed Rillaboom.
I agree, especially since we see the T-Bolt do over half to Victini. Oh,
right.
The 10% pair. That might be what he got lucky about.
Oh, okay.
Because Scarf Victini could do some nasty things to this remaining lineup.
That's the games we play. That's stop hitting Dark Pulse. Just stop.
I think at that point you can just click T-Bolt since you know the damage range on everything.
You myrtleited that Victini past... I mean, it's heat of the moment. You're super effective. It's low. It's going to die. But that first T-Bolt did 60%.
Right. And especially since I don't think Dave really gets low on time at all. He's got 2 minutes left as we see on the right side of the screen. He maybe should have just taken a minute to calc some stuff.
I don't think this Toxapex ends up hitting itself in confusion. Maybe that's where I went, he didn't get any neutrals. Maybe it was Dave's match. And then he's going to hit himself right here. I'm just gonna... Nope, okay.
Broke through confusion and got Toxic. So this is the point where Seismitoad just clicks Earth Power over and over again because Rillaboom is low enough to die. Yeah, it's 5%.
And Kyle just needs to wait out the Toxic to kill everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Toxapex could have walled this team.
I'm not sure how it would have done against the Willow Hex Dragapult, actually.
You know what? That is a lot of damage. You're right. I don't think it could have waited that out because I don't think we see Protect on this.
I don't believe so. I think we just see Toxic Knockoff Recover, so it's probably either a Scald or a Sludge Bomb, maybe in the back pocket.
I was gonna say Haze, maybe.
Oh, against a potential D-Dance Dragapult. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I can see that. So when Dave is just spamming Earth Powers here, it sort of cancels out. It does up around half, which is what Toxapex is recovering every turn. However, every single turn there's that 10% chance, so if you keep hitting it over and over, you're bound to get one.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And we see Dave does
he gets two in a row.
Yeah, the 2 in a row kind of seals
it. And it just keeps breaking through the confusions, too. Really, he didn't even need the special D-drops. He just needed one confusion to swing his way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that would have been game. I think in that case, if he hurt himself, he would have been forced to sack Rillaboom just for some regenerator health.
Yeah.
But then, even still, Toxapex is in such a bad position, being the only Mon left.
Right. And now it dies.
Yep, and now Rillaboom just KOs itself with Life Orb.
And that was a very clean win from Dave. I think he deserved that one. I don't think it was I shouldn't have won that game. You won based on drops, but bro, it's the game we play.
Yeah, I think Dave was pretty much in control that whole match. Kyle had some good moves as well, waiting out that Thundo who had the nasty plot up.
Right. The only thing that Dave should have done was he should have just literally just non-stop hit Thunderbolt.
I think I agree, yeah.
Honestly, it would have made that Toxapex problem a non-problem because it switched into, 2 Dark Pulses? 1 Dark Pulse?
I think it switched into 1 Dark Pulse, but even then, so a T-Bolt would probably do
Right. Listen, if
like
those T-bolts
75?
resisted, were like myrtleating that Rillaboom, like that Toxapex wanted none of it.
For sure.
But hey, he won anyway.
That is the game we play.
Right.
Very good stuff to Dave. Congratulations. On to the next battle. We have Manny against Murphy.
Loved it.
So
Loved this game.
This was a very interesting game. I do know that Murphy built this team in about 20 minutes right before the match.
Oh.
Because one of the Discord group I'm in, he messaged saying, "Hey, I'm fighting Manny in 20 minutes. Help me." Essentially. That's not to take anything away from Manny, to be clear. Because
hey, you know what? I've won a lot of games where I prep 20 minutes before the match, so.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear Murphy had no answer for Perish Trap Altaria.
Which was hilarious.
Oh, I love it because we so rarely see the Perish Trap sets, but they can be incredibly deadly, especially with them on with Natural Recovery and Roost. And very big defenses as well.
Another thing I really liked about this game, and honestly, man, play this season, he's brought Wish Pass Flareon multiple weeks, and it is just doing it.
That is really interesting because Flareon is defensive. It's got like 130 special defense.
Well, you say that, and then like Guts Flare Blitz, like yeah, I get it. It does more than one thing, but it's also offensive.
That's
true. I love that he's heavy duty boots Wish. Like it's just doing it for him.
Because I think we see the Shadow Ball do next to nothing. Yeah. It's a 4-tap on Flareon. That's kind of insane. Oh, right? And it gets Scorching Sands. Yeah, it's got utility. Flareon's got some moves.
Which hits 3 Mons on that line.
Oh, yeah. And hurts them bad. Because Excadrill doesn't want to switch in for potentially a burn.
Right.
Gigalith doesn't want it.
Like crazy. Manus played a really good game.
I concur. He played to his win con perfectly, and he even played well in the face of some heat we see on Murphy's side in a few moves.
I don't remember.
I love just eating the Leech Seed for the defog, since Toxic Spikes are a big problem against this team.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, Blunder Policy Zap Cannon, right.
I think that's a direct answer for Draco's ult. Because if he were to click that on like maybe T-Tar and he gets the 2x, now Draco's ult can't really come in because Togekiss will be faster.
Mike, I have Togekiss in the PCLL.
Yeah.
Thanks, Murph.
So we're going to see some heat in your other league?
I mean, it already +6 to whoever I played this week. So.
Oh, that's right. I remember watching that match.
But dude, Manus just he really just had Murphy.
He had Murphy's number the whole time.
We don't see it. It's soon that it happens, but I love his I love his Buzzwole set. He's
been bringing sub leftovers Buzzwole almost every week, I think. And it's
working.
Yeah, because Buzzwole's got like 135 defense. It's a great physical wall. Especially when Appleton's only move is Apple Acid. It's not breaking sub.
No. And it sucks too, because even if like he had the Apple Acid drink, just gonna be behind the sub again.
Yeah, he's faster, he's got the faster sub, Apple Acid won't break. His only real hope would have been Togekiss.
Which is now not here. And I think Manus knew, like, I get this bitch out of my way, it's over.
Yeah.
That's all he needed to do. I feel like every other Mon on his team was made to get Togekiss out of the way.
I think the only other answer Murphy could have had is a Chandelure with Infiltrator. However, he doesn't have Infiltrator on this Chandelure. As we see.
If he could have got Buzzwole out of the sub, I think a Aerial Ace or a Z-Fly from Excadrill would have done the trick, if Excadrill is a Z-Captain.
Yes, Excadrill is the Z-Captain. We actually do see that he's packing Aerial Ace, and it does like 60% to Buzzwole.
So a Z-move would have killed it then.
Yeah, the Z-move would have killed.
Right. But still, like, Manus knew, like, all I gotta do is what I'm doing right now.
And Appleton is really posing no threat. Honestly, Manny's just waiting out the recovers. And
Really,
that's what you gotta
doing.
play. That's how you gotta do it sometimes.
Right, he's clicking all of his punches. Like, he switches to Ice Punch at one, Drain Punch. When I outstall you, you have to blink before I do.
Right, because there's only 16 total recovers and there's 32 total moves on, Buzzwole's side that's gonna force a recover with either like 2 Drain Punches or an Ice Punch.
Manus happened to find one Mon that outwalls Murphy's walls.
And it's kind of insane that it's a Beast Boost Mon as well.
Right. Honestly, a lot of the Beast Boost Mons are pretty bulky. Like, Celesteela isn't small either, dude.
Oh, Celesteela is huge.
I mean, flip side of that, you have Kartana and Bucephalon. So, like, is there a middle ground?
Stack Attacka, maybe?
Stack Attacka is defensive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's what?
You have to run the negative defense nature to get the attack boost on him.
That's kind of hilarious.
And it's not even that. You have to take stuff out of the EVs as well. I'm going to click normal speed because this is going real slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've digressed a little bit as we've been seeing.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You literally said it all, man. It just goes, I'm going to outstall you, bro.
Yep.
Fight me.
And then no Infiltrator on Chandelure. And that's all she wrote. It was
I'm
honestly
actually really surprised. Like, why would you bring Flashfire just for Flareon?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that too. I'm not sure what fire threat Manny has other than Flareon. And I'm also kind of surprised that Manny didn't switch out. Because I'm sure he's well aware of the potential for Infiltrator on Chandelure.
I think he was just like, I'm going to sack this bitch. And then, because, like, he got rid of, by that point, he had other Mons that could have won this game. Tyranitar,
yeah, that's very true.
Like, Murphy gave him the sand. If that was Sandros Dracozolt, come on.
Yep, Sand Team against Sand Team.
Right, and T-Tar was
comes
here
back.
too. I completely forgot about that.
Manny comes up out on top. So very well played to him. He found the hole in Murphy's team.
Well, he found the wall to Murphy's team.
Yeah, the wall. I think Buzzwole claimed 5, I want to say. Maybe 4.
In about 20 turns on the field.
Yeah.
It hit the field and never left.
That's what you love to see.
Mm-hmm.
So very well played on his part. Congratulations. Big +5. Breaking news. A new match has just happened. Bick and Jim. What? We were preparing this whole preamble like, oh, hey, there's been real life stuff going on with Bick and he hasn't played his match yet. Something about us covering it later. But we don't have to do that because it actually happened while we were recording.
And you know what? We're putting it right in the middle. We're not putting it at the end. It's going in the middle.
Yep, it's going right in the middle.
And also, we haven't watched this yet, so it's going to be on real slow, and we're just going to talk about it live because, well, fake live? Live to us.
It's live to us. There we go. That's how you put it. It's live to us. Okay.
Oh my god,
really slow is slow. Really slow is slow.
Nonsense.
When it's taken 3 seconds for the first Mon to come out.
Okay. So I love this. Jim has a good lead right now.
Yeah.
Kohaku.
So
love it.
There's no removal on Big side.
No. Oh boy.
Ooh, that's bad.
He's really going for these automatizers. I feel like he hit it last week too.
He might have. I don't quite remember how his match went.
Oh god, he's going so fast.
He is kind of forced to go fast because you're forced to hit autotomaz again, I should say, because of the paralyze.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay.
Imagine if that was a weakness policy instead of the power herb.
Well, then Meteor Beam would have taken a second turn to
right,
charge.
But he could have hit.
Power Gem, yeah.
But still, Keat plays love Power Herb Meteor Beam on Nihilego.
It's super scary, and it's at that above 100 speed tier, so it's pretty much always going to be a threat if it gets one off.
Dude, he is just gimping the shit out of this Mecha Gallade. I love it.
Yeah, man, slow and intimidated? That's nasty.
Man, these webs are just. Does Bick even have removal on his team, and he just didn't bring it this week?
I think he's got a spinner. I'd have to double check.
I love this. Jim is just like, I'm slowing his team down.
Yeah,
He learned from me. That's what I did. Jim was like, wait a second, this happened to me.
the paralyze plus webs combo is so deadly.
It's gross. You're not going first. Oh my god, I think it's Woodhammer.
Of course it does.
Though.
Look at him. Yeah, Kamala the koala. He's got his big drum or tree trunk or whatever he's holding on to.
I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, and this is super duper not where Aromatisse wants to be.
Not even close.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess Swampert is the switch.
No, he does get Grass Knot if Jim reads this.
Oh, he's stuck here now. Okay.
I don't like this.
That's not great.
Oh? Okay. Over.
Okay. We were clenched for a potential paralyze. Okay, Garchomp is slow.
What? Yeah, Mamo, right? That was.
Yep. This makes sense.
And it's gone.
I love Ice Shard and not assuming you're faster with the Icicle Crash.
Yeah, Jim is just hitting it. He doesn't care. So ready to watch this them get intimidated for the last time? No, he's faster.
Well, yeah, it's Mega Gallade. Because
Mega
there's no
Gallade
way he
is
can be
not
scarfed.
slow. I did not think that Mamo was going to be faster.
Mamo's 80.
Yeah,
Gallade's 110. So with
I guess
the webs,
I'm just knocking how much the webs really do is what's happening.
it's essentially giving. If you have webs out, it's essentially giving your entire team a scarf. Think of it that way.
Okay, that's fair.
Is Lele just going to do it?
I think Lele's just going to do it. Because we see. Yeah, I think Lele just does it.
Oh, I wonder if that's an AV Swampert. 54 from an energy ball.
Yeah, that has to be.
Yeah, Jim calls it out. Nice AV. Yeah, and I think at that point there's not really much Swampert could even have done. Because I doubt an EQ would kill.
That was crazy. Just literally these webs turn one. Bick lost from turn one.
Yeah, Bick had no answer to webs. That's pretty much what this match boiled down to.
There was a couple paralyzes that went out. Wait a second. How did Swampert get paralyzed?
It's Stun Spore. It's a grass move.
Okay, it's Stun Spore. I thought he was hitting T-Wave for some reason. Okay. It took me a minute to wait a second. So that was a great win by Jim. He just read Bick. He crippled him.
Yeah, he found the thing that Bick didn't really have an answer for.
Or did he just get lucky that Bick did bring removal?
Let me check out Bick's team right now.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. He has Rotom with Defog. He has Skunk Tank with Defog.
Okay.
And I don't know if Grottle gets anything. But still, damn. For the one time for Bick not to bring removal, it really boned him.
Oh yeah, no Rotom. I guess Rotom's a little awkward against Jim's team anyway because Nihiligo's going. It's not going to necessarily resist it, but Nihiligo's got huge special D.
Yeah, but you're thinking offensive Rotom. I love screens, Volt Switch, support Rotom.
Yeah, that's obviously great. I was honestly just thinking of the Volt Switch and that there were potentially a lot of good switch-ins for Jim.
Yeah, I mean Mamo just comes in for free. You right.
Yeah,
but still, that was a great 22 turn.
Jim leading with Masquerain, that had to have been a direct response to seeing Big 6.
Yeah.
And knowing that there's just nothing.
Well, it was
there's
fast.
nothing to stop webs. Exactly. Right, but potentially you might want to save webs for later on if you know there's a slower mode or if there's removal. Right.
Right, if there was a removal and he was like, there's no removal, they're going out right now.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, very well played to Jim. Our next match, we will be featuring a guest. LCD.
I am the guest.
The guest.
Owner of the thumbnail this week.
I can't believe I'm
Sorry, what was it?
inside the PFL.
You are inside the PFL.
He's inside the PFL.
I'm all the way inside the PFL.
Yikes.
All right, so as we get this started, why don't you just give us a rundown of your prep for this match? What were you expecting on his side? What came? How did it turn out in game? All that good stuff.
Well, it started like 3 days before when you told me to bring. So I was like, I didn't look at it yet, and so I was like, but that's you were right. There is absolutely no Draco switch-ins.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I
that was
for
the start,
missing.
basically.
except for missing.
Except for missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get an LCD0 a little
So
bit.
that-
That
I knew
special
that.
Salamence was sick.
A little bit of ear. And then at
That's
that
why you
point-
wanted him.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, at that point, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna not get Z-Psych up and lose. And so Unaware
Bet.
Clef was the biggest thing, basically, because Unaware Clef was able to 1v1 Combine Suicune, Moeta, Zygarde would have trouble with it.
I actually
But-
knew it was going to be Unaware as soon as I saw you hit. No way he's going to risk that.
Yeah, like I'm just staying in on the Mon that's brought Psych
Right.
up every.
Yeah, that's a
So-
good strat. So you get to boost and he doesn't get to boost, even though he's taken all your
Yeah.
stats.
So that was like a main win con. Slowbro pitted a lot of the Mons just so I could safely get in Salamence or try to get in Marowak.
Right, and it seemed like
So, yeah.
this Specs Toxtricity was going to be a real pain. So you being able to
Yeah.
just Super Fang and Z-Fly it is real good for the rest of your Mons.
Yeah, that was really. I'm pretty sure I lost on the spot if I didn't get to Z-Fly that because I brought a Marowak thinking it was going to take that Sludge Wave a lot better, and it was immune to Boom Burst. So I was like, this is fine. It was
It turned out
Not
it wasn't
It was
fine.
not fine.
And a little Marowak gets Lightning Rod, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that it could have been the hard counter to Toxtricity. However, spectacles.
Yeah, I neglected to calc.
Yeah, that'll happen.
At least that looked
So-
like Specs to me with the resist. I'm not totally sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I didn't calc it, but it had to have been. So in this situation, I got paralyzed in this one, I think. No, the next one. Either way, I had aromatherapy, this big green button, and I didn't see it once. I just forgot completely about it. So I probably could have survived with this clef longer, but I didn't.
Right. There's also always the pressure when you're paralyzed that you want to click a button because you never know if it's going to be your last turn. So that can
Yeah.
be a difficult decision even if you do have aromatherapy.
I agree.
For sure. I could have done it here though, because like Meloetta wasn't going to be able to do anything special.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, Meloetta gets Serene Grace. Yeah, so 60% chance to pair with each Thunder. That is
that's
some
really
that is
scary.
some heat from Tristan.
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm terrified of that in the future.
Yeah. Tristan's a really good player as somebody who can't ever.
For sure. It was really difficult keeping up with him in the playoffs last season.
He's. Gross.
Also, I really wanted to say that I was unaware and the crit didn't matter at the time, because he must have gotten so tilted about that. But I was like, I can't just tell him.
Right, that's something you reveal after the match once you know that it's
Yeah.
not going to come back to potentially bite you and allow him to play around it.
Yeah. Also, I did get crit twice on the bullet seed. I think I probably would have lived. It wasn't that bad, but it did put me in a bit of a more tight situation for the end game.
Right. It may have been a roll. I'm not sure exactly how the calcs would work out, but yeah, those crits definitely
Maybe,
didn't
yeah.
help much.
And super and like crazy. But that's where I got burnt. Like, I was still doing 50 to everything.
Yeah, Suicune, it sort of seems like it's the last thing that can wall Salamence at this point, so you're just sort of patiently waiting to get him in.
Yeah, at this point, I was really concerned about Suicune. But then I ended up getting Salamence in off of Slowbro sometime soon. And at that point, I realized, like, he doesn't have a good play in that situation, so maybe I could just chip it down and then reveal Draco Meteor later.
Right, because you just slammed the not Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulses.
Like, I wasn't thinking about rest. Once I saw Ice Beam, I was like, you'd probably not rest, I guess. It very well could have been, but I just kind of wrote it off.
I think Rest on Suicune is one of those things that is super tough to get around with its incredibly high base defensive stats, mono water typing, removing the toxic. It's so strong, and it's his only
Yeah,
form of
100%.
healing.
If not awkward sometimes, but still, you have to be ready for that, or you just auto lose.
Right. Like a Calm Mind Suicune, it hurts a lot of things. So we're kind of dancing around in the end game, and knowing you online, you're just waiting for Salamence to come in clean and hit stuff.
Yeah, basically.
To round this out.
Once I think, yeah. Oh no, not here. Soon enough, I eventually realized the situation I'm in. I'm like, all right, I think this wasn't as bad as it looked at first, because I was actually a lot more concerned than I should have been maybe at this point. I did a lot of extra slack offs with Slowbro for no reason. There was a lot of situations where I could have just gotten Salamence in right away.
Right, like instead of hitting slack off, you just hit the teleporter and get the regenerator health back instead.
Yeah, for sure. So I just kind of extended it out a little bit.
But hey, it's a tough call sometimes in the moment, because you really want to play safe, and you don't want to let, one slip up and Slowbro's dead, and now suddenly Salamence has to 1v1 Suicune.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a tough call, but you played it conservatively, you played it tight. This little bit of chip on Suicune is actually a lot more than it seems, because you haven't revealed Draco yet.
Yeah, so it appears to be like a safe play, and then he gets to threat an Ice Beam, but with the Draco it wasn't. Also, this Tornado was an issue. This thing is fat.
Oh yeah, Turt's fat.
And also, I had lost Donphan already, and Clefable wasn't going to care about it either. So at this point, I was like, oh, this is a bit of a pain in the ass.
And there's no rocks on the other, on Tristan's side of the field either, so
yeah,
there's not much punishing him from just doubling over and over and over again.
What was your answer to
Marowak was a
Glacier?
rocker. My answer was going to be partially Clef, it was maxed out.
Okay.
And Glacier is, if it gets whittled down, I can come in with Salamence. Also, Marowak is faster.
Okay.
But it wasn't that great of a situation. Slowbro could handle, but I think it gets coverage. I was going to have to be careful, but
Yeah,
the main thing I
Glacier
was
gets a
glad
ton of
about is
coverage.
there was no rocks, so didn't bring that, which was going to reveal unaware probably, because it was kind of hard to get Donphan to actually spin.
Right, if he sees Clefable take rocks damage, then he would know the Psych-Up's just not going to do much.
Yeah, like he would have gone for Toxic with Suicune a lot earlier instead of trying to para me, which if he Toxicked and he could have stalled it, I mean, he might have lost the Mon still, but I think it would have been better off.
And it looks like that's all she wrote, because Salamence just slams Dragon Pulse twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, you played it
really
patient.
weird that
You got your win con in. You're saying something was weird?
we're doing the same thing I did last season. I lose the first two. Now I'm winning. We'll see what happens.
Well, you're very well on your path to doing that. A pretty solid victory from you. It seems like a lot of stuff just went your way, other than maybe the Toxtricity doing more than Marowak than you anticipated.
Yeah, once Clef came in, I kind of felt like I was ahead for sure.
So very good stuff. How are you feeling for the rest of the season?
I'm feeling good for a while. I mean, it's one thing I'm weird about is like I drafted Mega Tyranitar. I'm like so excited to use it, and every matchup I bring in, it's not good.
When I had Mega Titar, I sort of felt the same way. It's like, man, it's got so many weaknesses and so many things get fighting coverage. And this was back when we had Hidden Power too, so everything could just run a Hidden Power fighting.
Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna keep it. I don't really want to mess with the team because I feel like working. I don't really want to. I was get quick to pick up, so I don't think I need to though.
Oh, your team is super strong. It is sort of a nightmare to look down. I'm gonna have to face you in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be fun.
You also have Metachamp, so I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, Metachamp, Mandibuzz, and Silvally. I'd say that's pretty strong.
Like I've helped two people try to prep against you, and I literally have to say, I don't know, you kind of have to go hyper offense. It's so. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't actually looked at our matchup, but it should be a good one anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, before we sign off, you got any last words you want to say to the people?
Thanks for having me. I want to shout out my mom. She's always been there when I really needed her.
Shout outs to your mom. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep, I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
For our next bout, we've got Nijia against Dylan. So we'll give that one a play.
What a good team versus a good team. I love the Embor.
Both these picks were super great, and I love both of them starting out with the Magic Bouncer.
Right.
That's so
I
funny.
heard you like some Magic Bounce, so I got you some Magic Bounce. Love it.
This Age Slash could have been a big issue.
Could have.
The Autotomize, yeah, could have. So I wonder if this was like a weakness policy set.
On Aegislash?
Right, with the Autotomize.
Possibly.
The reason I'm wondering is because if he potentially had King's Shield, like King's Shield Autotomize, Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, or something, maybe he could have just King's Shielded there and kept his defense for the weakness policy proc, because you could use it twice in a row and still maintain the 140 base defense, even if it fails. And then you go into attack mode and start hitting stuff with Shadow Balls.
Did Dylan just forget that Fancy gets Magic Bounce?
I believe so. I believe that's what we just saw.
Oh, there it is. Forget. Okay. And dude, this Diancie just starts going off.
Yeah, this Diancie's a real problem.
It's free Diamond Storms.
And 50% chance to boost your defense. Ugh. Diancie got...
Yeah.
It gets body pressed too. Diancie doesn't need that.
No.
Diancie doesn't need that. What a freaking
gross.
menace.
And then Rotom Wash just comes right in.
And the special attack drop. I'm surprised that Hydro Pump killed, honestly.
I'm not.
Really? After the special attack drop?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about Mega Diancie kind of, minus the physical defense side, just doesn't impress me.
Huh. Okay. I mean,
Vic is wrong.
That's right. That's right, because of Fortress.
Vic is wrong right now. Vic is wrong.
Right now, Bick is wrong. That's right. This is something we actually neglected to mention in the Bick Jim matchup, but there's a big bet on the line. If Jim beat Bick, Bick's gonna have to write an essay on why Fortress is cool and a good mon.
It's a great mon. Look at it just countering this Hitmonchan.
That's right. It's so smart. And honestly, Dylan is playing this pretty smart too. Not letting it just counter over and over again on the drain punches. Trying to whittle it down with rapid spin. Bit. But Nijia figures that out and then goes for the Gyro Ball. So.
And then also that Hydro Pump miss.
Yeah.
A big thing, because it just let him get rocks out again. Rotom has to stay here till it dies.
Those rocks could have been an issue. Ooh. Man.
Big oof.
We normally think of Rotom Wash as the big defensive bulky one that never dies, but Scarf Rotom cannot be slept on no matter what form it's in.
I mean, he also got lucky and was just hitting those Hydro Pumps.
That is true.
You're right.
Like 110 base power stab though, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Talk about how those freeze dries did nothing.
And then
this is a huge mana fee.
Yeah, 100 across the board. Mana fee is huge. And also that Glalie explosion killing from 66, that was a little bit shocking to me on the resist.
Yeah, especially because it was resisted. Maybe it was special defense.
Yeah, it very well could have been. Maybe Nijia's intent was to just set up on Glalie knowing that it can't break with freeze dry.
Yeah, that might have been it. I love the end game here too.
Yeah, you've got these two big fat mons just whittling each other down with toxic. But yeah, very well played from Nijia. Short, another 22 turns.
Yeah, it was a very short, very like average week minus Jim's game key to the week. Masquerain.
Yeah, Masquerain proving its worth at 60 points.
Right.
in Tim Webs, love it. But this is Nijia's match. Congratulations to him. This is almost like how we can't stop talking about Mitch every battle. But before we get on a tangent about Mitch, let's go to the next battle. M1 against Dan. Okay, so let's get this started.
Okay, before we even get this started, I'm so mad at M1 for giving up turn 2. He gave up.
It is weird, yeah. So he throws out the GG after Lando getting burned, and that's
like he had so many answers for Spirit Tomb. Like just he had play rough everywhere, if I remember.
And
right.
we even see the no item on Cofagrigus. So it didn't take anything from a Poltergeist, which is really smart, by the way. That was great prep. So I was a little surprised at throwing out the GG. Absol not being able to confirm the kill on Stoutland is a little weird. Even if Spiritomb was coming in, I would have seen that as a free CC, I think, because nothing really wants it.
Also, M1 kind of let a lot of things get burned, or at least more than he needed to. Like, I would have just kept going into Lando every time.
That is true.
Just because I didn't want to risk another burn. Like, that Caparaja burn was huge in the end.
Right.
Also, it's turn 9 and M1's got 15 seconds.
Hey, he takes his time thinking.
I love it.
It sort of seems like when M1 is thinking a long time, he's thinking about what to switch in, but when he doesn't take a lot of time, he hits a move, sort of. I don't know if he would necessarily agree with that, but
I feel like he plays better when he has no time left.
I think so too, because he just hits what's in front of him. And a lot of the time, that's how you win games. It's just you hit stuff. You get their HP to 0 before yours.
Right.
Now, if M1 had not lost Mega Absol here, it would have completely destroyed this Vileplume, because it can't do anything because of Magic Bounce.
Yeah. Right.
Magic Bounce bounces back Strength Sap and Toxic.
Yeah, losing Mega Absol that early was huge, but I see why.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tired. I see why I see why he stayed in to try and kill Stoutland there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to maybe get a knockoff on somebody else switching in, but it didn't quite work out.
And honestly, you see Dan running his timer down low here too. Like, the two of them are really thinking about what to do.
That's true. I think they both got down to 5 seconds at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Caparaja burned and no threat of Heat Crash anymore, there's not much that deals with Vileplume.
Right, Vileplume just kind of walls his team at this point. Lotto will just wall in the teams with this boy this week.
Yeah, we saw it in Manny's match against Murphy with the Buzzwole just walled all of Murphy's team.
Right.
Even though Caparaja is burned, I'm kind of surprised that play rough only did 21% with the sheer force boost.
It might not be invested.
Oh, that's true. It might not be invested. But yeah, so I don't know why he ever switches out with Vileplume, to be honest. Because it sort of seems like Vileplume's just gonna win. Just sitting on everything, because Cofagrigus is toxic. But I don't know. Dan ends up getting the win regardless. So not to take anything away from him, but
yeah, Dan kind of was just throwing plus away at some point.
Interesting that he went for Intim rather than
plus away.
Yeah, he threw some plus away, but it's interesting that he went for Intim over Scrappy with the Cofagrigus on the other side.
I agree, and I remember thinking that he had Scrappy too.
Yeah, well, it's weird because Stoutland would get Mummy, and then like he wouldn't be able to hit anymore because of Scrappy, but maybe that's okay because that's damage is damage, and Cofag doesn't have great recovery other than Pain Split. So I don't know. And also, M1's team is quite physical heavy, I think, so maybe Intim was just the play for utility. That might be what it is.
Might be it. Then just Vileplume just wins in the long run here.
Right. The grassy
Also
terrain
love
certainly doesn't
the
help.
leftovers.
Oh, the leftovers instead of black sludge.
Right.
Yeah, well,
God, I can't stop yawning.
if I guess there's no reason not to, right? Like, what's the difference really? The difference would be if you got tricked, I suppose. That's the only thing.
Yes.
But other than that, it doesn't really make a difference.
Surprised he went for toxic here too. He must not have had a grass move.
Probably not. Well, okay, we saw toxic strength slap, sludge wave, aromatherapy. Okay, so this Vileplume was just intending to sit on things forever.
Yep.
I'm interested by the Rock Slide on Quagsire.
Maybe for Megadactyl. Although he could have just run Scald.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't it regular Aerodactyl?
Oh, actually, I think you're right.
Yeah. Regardless, a good +4 for Dan. A Conference Cup +4 for Dan. It was a big Conference Cup week this week.
Not for mine. Dan was the only one who won in my division.
No, well.
Oh no, Jim won. Jim won.
Hey, there you go. Jim won. So yeah. Let's go on to the next game.
The next in.
Oh, it's Mike's match.
It is my match. Ugh, so mad.
You're mad.
It was a good game though. Yeah, dude.
Talk
won
us
this
through.
Game. So first of all, I love bringing Super Fang on everything. It's hilarious.
It can be a real problem.
Well, so the thing was, I knew Mudsdale was going to be a problem, and I also knew that, I was bringing Z Bulk up, and if I can get most of his team to 50%, I was going to finish his team. Like, with just Pyro Balls and high jump kicks and sucker punches, as you see me do. Once I get Cinderace out, it just starts doing things with people and places. This knockoff was kind of huge, but at the same time, like, Golbat just took hits. Didn't give a shit, really.
Yeah, Golbat is super tanky, and even without the Eviolite, he's moderately tanky as well, because when I had Crobat last season, I ran defensive Crobat a bunch of times because its base stats are good enough and it's fast enough that you don't need many speed EVs, so...
I also got lucky that Thomas didn't bring Banded Sacred Fire on Entei.
I remember watching this match live and thinking that Banded Sacred Fire was going to be an issue for your team.
I mean, Greninja would have stopped it. I could have done some Water Shuriken or a Hydro Pump, but I was very surprised. Also, this Drampa ended up being very useless for me. I was expecting Grass Poison or Generator, looks like a mushroom. Amoonguss! I was expecting Amoonguss, so I brought it to Wall Amoonguss.
Oh, okay.
It was going to do the Ferrothorn thing with Jim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would completely shut down Amoonguss, wouldn't it? Yeah, because you can't get
and
spored with Sapsiper, right?
I actually used Drampa to do the same thing I used it to do in Jim's game. I used it to die. There's a point in my match where I sack it to try and get whatever my win con is for free and start going.
Yeah, and that's an important thing, especially when you've got mons you want to save that are low. Just thinking about future turns, it's worth it whether or not to sort of like calculate in your mind how the future turns are going to go, and it can be worth it to save a mon that's low a lot of times just as sack fodder.
Right. And once I got the Super Fang off on Mudsdale, I knew that it clearly just put Cinderace in and just start clicking buttons.
Right. Man, Z bulk up immediately getting you to +2 and +1 defense. That is so insane.
Yep. And it was just, I knew that as long as I hit everything, I knew that I was going to win here. But, as the people who watched saw, I didn't, in fact, do that.
And look at that, the +1 defense paying off.
Unfortunately. Right, that's why I knew, that that regular Gyarados wasn't even going to be a problem. It was just Mudsdale.
That
and
maybe could have... Oh, no, I was going to say maybe could have been an issue if you started T-dancing, but no, you've got Sucker Punch, so you're going to go first anyway. There it is. The HJK miss. Oh.
And right here, I'm tilted. So Joe pointed out that I could have won the game. I forgot about First Impression on Sirfetch'd and was just very tilted about that HJK miss.
Okay.
I was full tilt once that happened.
Okay, so you forgot Sirfetch had first impression.
Right, I went full tilt, man. It wasn't good.
All right, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, I wasn't happy, and then I just lose.
I do gotta say though, Berserk did put in some fine work with all those fake outs.
It really did, though. It just chipped my team down.
Yeah, I think I was a little critical of it last week, just because he brought the life orb set. But we saw it just hit fake out that entire game, right? Okay, no, I guess it hit some other things like U-turn in close combat. But it hit 5 fake outs. That's a lot.
Yeah, it did.
That's so
it did
much
what
damage.
it was supposed to do.
Especially with Tough Claw's boost.
I played a little wrong in the end game too. I still could have salvaged this, but I was hoping the Thomas hit overheat at a certain point. Didn't.
Well, this does sort of seem firmly in your favor. Because
No.
Ente's low. Surfetch
All
is
my
low.
mons are weak. All he needs to do is get over Golbat. I thought he was gonna hit
that's true.
overheat here. That's why I left, because I expected overheat.
Oh, and you expected the drop in special attack.
Right. So I was like, cool, I'll
Ah,
just
okay.
sack him, get the free special attack drop, and then go into something and just make Thomas take a hit right now.
Okay. I don't think you ever switch moves on Arctovich at one point. When I saw this happen live, I thought Arctovich was scarfed. And then when Thomas hit the dual wing beat, I was like, oh, Surfetched is faster.
I forget what Arctovish's item was, actually. It might have been...
Oh, it says leftovers.
was
Never mind. So I
leftovers,
guess
yeah,
he
I was
knew.
gonna say.
I guess he knew. Never mind. I'm so bad
Honestly,
at noticing items.
I called Thomas's team wrong. Like, completely wrong. I did not... I remember prepping. Like, I prepped really hard for Latias and Amoonguss. They didn't even show.
Right. I mean, if I was up against Thomas's team, I'd be super concerned about Latios and Amoonguss.
Right. That's pretty much why Arctovish was there. And in the end, he ended up not needing to be here. I mean, he kind of helps with Entei, but regardless, it was a good match between me and Thomas.
Yep, that's how it goes sometimes.
Right. It was a well-fought game.
I guess other than the first impression thing, which you already brought up, but yeah, other than that, it seemed like you guys were both very competitive.
Right. If I didn't forget about that first impression thing and just switched out, I could have just won. I would have been able to just water shuriken my way through his team later.
Right. Well, congratulations to Thomas for that.
Right. Good match, Tom.
And last but not least, we've got Mitch and Leibo,
Oh God.
everybody's
Just quickly
favorite player to talk
get on
about.
fast.
Let's get this started. We're playing on normal speed because this is a long one.
It's just, how did Mitch lose this game, first of all?
Okay.
So that's my first question.
So Pincursion gets chipped right off the bat. Leibo makes the right call with Halucha coming in. Gets off the
Right.
Sludge Bomb.
And the Toxic. Love the Power Herb Sky attack. Think he blows his Unburden load a little too early in this game.
Leibo's team isn't super fast. I don't think you necessarily need Unburden to be up constantly with Halucha.
I agree, but Mitch doesn't think like four-dimensionally. He thinks I have Unburden, I'm going to use it. Not, ooh, could I use Mold Breaker in any way, shape, or form this week? Which still I don't think you could have. Here it is. Here it is.
There it is. That's a freeze.
And he never wakes up.
Nope. That's one turn to freeze. Let's count on our hands.
I think it ends up being 7.
Oh god, that's so insane.
It's crazy.
Freeze is...
You know how many people I've frozen for them to just... I'm going to say it again. I freeze them, and then they wake up next turn. Like, it's irrelevant.
It always feels bad on the other side of the coin. Like, man, freeze is such an unbalanced mechanic, just in general.
It really is.
Because Leibo said he looked it up after the match. It's a 20% chance each turn, and there's no cap.
Oh, yeah, we knew that. We looked it up on stream.
Yeah, 20% is just insane. And it gives Mitch time to put up all 3 layers of spikes and just do like 10% with rising voltages over and over again to make a
Which
Venusaur.
honestly is why he lost. He should have went into anything else and just started buttoning. I'm surprised he didn't have any form of setup on his team.
Yeah, like, Okay, what was Leibo's answer if it was like a power meteor beam rapid spin Starmie? I think
Or
that.
even if this was Scale Shot Crook, bro. Scale Shot Moxie Crook, let's go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cricket's Moxie.
Right, like he could have just slammed Scale Shot into that Venusaur over and over again until nothing on Leibo's team was faster than it.
Yeah, and looking at Mitch's team, it's really offensive heavy.
Right.
Like
Honestly,
Crook and
this boy just
Cryogonal
puts
are.
the work in.
Yeah.
Like Shell Smash saved his game there.
Okay. I'm gonna pause it. Leibo
No,
sends.
he didn't. He didn't know. Nope. He didn't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna set this up for a second. Okay, look. Leibo sends out quote unquote Slow King and then goes, "Fuck! Oh no, I made a mistake. How could this happen?" And it's just Zoroark. Like, come on.
Oh god.
Come
I
on.
think the fuck man was he was just upset that he lost Venusaur and he had to play so well.
Okay. To me,
But I
it
still
seemed...
don't think that Mitch knew that was Zoroark.
Do you think Mitch knows about imposter or disguise or whatever it is? Illusion.
I think he knows what it is, but I don't think he knew that was Zoroark at that time. I think he was too beelined on hitting buttons. And you know what? A Raichu was kind of low at that point too, so it might even just be a throwaway.
Yeah, that is true because when else are you getting a Raichu into sweep?
Right. And
Maybe Mitch
also,
thought he had just won.
Mitch
Also.
losing or winning the speed tie was huge.
Oh yeah, that's right. 105 on Cryogonal versus 105. Oh, and is Cryogonal 105 or 115?
I don't remember, but it's speed tied with Zoroark, I think.
Okay, then it's 105 then.
I love this P2 just walling Mitch out because of how low that Lucha is.
Okay. Freeze dry froze yet again, but then instant recovery.
Right. I don't get a freeze all season. Mitch gets 2 in 1 match.
That's the Mitch special.
It really is.
And Leibo puts it so eloquently, "Fuck off, snowflake bitch."
Right. Like that. There's no better way to put that.
And yeah, at this point, Mitch kind of has to rely on double switches to have a chance at win, because with Regenerator on Slowking and the slack off and P2 having recover, Mitch is in a point where he has to like make a hard read. Like, I know you're switching out this turn, I'm gonna do this. But
Right.
Mitch doesn't really go for that play. He just lets Lucha die, to Slowking.
Right. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep. Slowking just teleports out into P2. P2 hits another Shadow Ball. Dude, imagine Mitch just paralyzes there and gets full pairs a bunch of times in a row. Can you imagine that world?
Oh my god. Just no. What an average week.
It was a little average week. I feel like the matches they're also very intense too, because we see people playing standard, but also we see pretty much everybody playing really well as well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So a big Conference Cup week. With that, we will actually look at the Conference Cup.
Yeah, let's just go right into the Conference Cup. Why not?
So looking at the Conference Cup, we see the Miss Magus division at 4, Drifblim at 8, Jellicent at 6. We'll skip over the next division. Dusknoir at 11. And my division Gengar with the lonely 1.
Listen, Drifblim, I'm sorry that I couldn't beat Thomas and I failed you. It was looking so good.
Well, you are right on the heels of Dusknoir, so...
I want to be in the lead, Drac.
Oh, I understand. Lots of implications on the line, because
Listen,
for anybody who doesn't know, there are big benefits to winning the Conference Cup. Not only do you win back your $5 entry fee to the league, but you also are guaranteed a top 4 spot in the draft next season.
which is great because then it allows you to do meme teams.
Yeah, and it lets me pick Metacham round 1.
Boy, what a Conference Cup.
What a Conference Cup. Next up, we've got King of the Kill. We got a big old tie. Not very hot contention for the number 1 spot.
For Driftblim not doing dick in the Conference Cup, they are all over the King of the Kill.
This is Driftblim's down here, but top 4 spots, I gotta say, that's my division. That's the Gengar division, baby. We got Gengar and Tapu Bulu sharing number 1 with 7 kills, and we have a big tie for second with 6 kills between Nidoqueen, Alakazam,
oh my god,
Incineroar, Excadrill, Stoutland, Toxtricity, Tapu Lele, and Salamence.
Love it.
Also, there's good benefits to winning King of the Kill as well. I believe you get $10.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
At the very least, you get your entry fee back, so.
Hell yeah. King of the Kill, important. As
like
always.
banana bread at work, dude.
Let's look at the division standings.
Let's not. Can we just skip this part?
Nope, already there. Too late. Nijia leading the Miss Magus division, 3-1 plus 5. Dan leading Driftblim, 3-1 plus 8. Manny leading Jellicent with a big 3-1 plus 13.
That's huge.
That's a big plus. Not even the biggest plus, though.
No, it's not.
I am leading the Gengar division at 4-0 plus 11. And Dave, with his win over Kyle, getting him up to 3-1 plus 15.
Can we talk about how the people in first and last place have mirror records in every division?
Oh my! You're right. Look at that.
As I am one of those in last place.
That's really interesting. Yeah, seeing all these people put up huge pluses, it's making me glad I haven't dropped a game yet.
Could we look at Kyle at 1-3?
Hey, the season's not over. The season's not over. Kyle is a super strong battler. We could see him.
I agree.
Make a comeback.
And you know what? Everybody gets one.
Hey, when I was 1-4, I had that season where I was 1-4 and then ended up winning my division.
That's true.
It can happen.
See, now listen, I'm 1-3 and will not end up winning my division.
Don't count yourself out, man.
Yikes. What a week.
And this is going into the break weeks as well.
Dave has won an average of +5 every week. That's gross.
That is gross. 2 +6s and a +3.
Ugh.
Ooh. I think next up we've got trades and pickups.
There's a couple.
There are a couple.
Tree.
So first up we've got Leibo. Leibo has dropped Zoroark and Archeops for Swellow and Absol.
Which I kind of don't like, but it's not my team. I love Zoroark and Archeops, but I mean, Swellow and Absol both do things, so we'll see how it goes.
Swellow, I think it's really good for Leibo's team because his fastest threat is like Manectric at 105. So I think Swellow being able to potentially come in off of a teleport from Slowking or P2,
right,
or something
and then just
like
start
that.
hitting boom bursts. That'd be nice.
Right, just
or even a
boom
volt
burst.
switch off Manectric. Yeah, it has a lot of good free ins. You're right.
Right, and besides that, his fastest are like Shell Smash, Cloyster, and Unburden Hitmonlee, which are good. They're good and fast. They definitely can win games. But
And
it's
he
nice
has
to have that
D-Dance
non-setup
support too.
Yeah, he's got D-Dance support. More frail, extreme offense to put alongside Klefki, Mega Venusaur, Slowking, P2.
Leibo ain't going to heaven, that's for sure.
So yeah, I do like these picks a lot. I'm actually not a Zoroark fan, but
So hilarious.
But yeah, I think Leibo got a new team card as well because he's got
I believe
Cloyster.
so.
He had Zoroark before, I think.
Ah, okay. I'm surprised Joe doesn't make it. All right, you can't trade your card captain.
That'd kind of be nuts.
That would be nuts. Whoever you put on your team card, staying on your team.
All right, our next trade and pickup, Nijia, has dropped Golisopod for Tauros.
Love it. Don't like a Golostopod. Love Tauros.
I kind of do have a soft spot for Golisopod because it's like 130, I think, base attack and then first impression. Like, yeah, getting swapped out sucks, but
Listen,
that's a big
he
threat.
already has spikes from Fortress. He's got. It seems fast. Like first impression's great, but like Nidoking, Latios, Z-Tail Glow, Z Rain Dance, Galvantula. Like his team's already fast, and Tauros ain't slow either. And he
Tauros
still
is
has
100,
Ice Shard.
I think.
Right, like he's got a lot of good Scarf targets. I like that pickup. I like it.
Yeah, it's I don't think it changes the team that much, but I have a soft spot for Golisopod. It's a very cool mon. So our next and final trade-in pickup is James, changing his team yet again. He has dropped G Zapdos and 2 Cannon for Jirachi and Delibird.
Remember when we were talking about his game and you were like, man, James has gotten swept by ghosts a lot.
Yeah.
And then he picks up Jirachi.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
Also, his double S core is double steel.
And his fire switch-ins are Rotom Heat and Barbaracle? And I guess Kingdra as well?
I don't quite know what the hell James is doing.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
I ever
interesting.
know what James is doing. I think he does it, and that's that.
If we see him bring Delibird next week and he hits present and heals his opponent, man, that's gonna be something to commentate on.
So Mario was walking behind me, and his reaction to James' team is also what's happening. Like, who wants a fire move on this team? 2 people.
Yeah.
3 people. 4 people? Okay, you know what? Never mind. There's a couple monster dudes.
I don't know if I consider Rampardos necessarily a fire switch in, just because it's kind of frail and it might not take 2 especially if it was like, you know, Blacephalon or something.
And I also
some
don't
random
like the
fire
thought
type.
of switching Barbaracle into moves.
Right. Barbaracle doesn't like to switch into moves a lot because it'll break Sash if he's a Sash set, and he doesn't have the greatest special defense anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
I'm a little bit confused by it too, but maybe he'll put in work with Delibird. It's weird having Delibird and Rotom H on the same team because they're sort of competing for slots to have the booties. But we'll see.
I don't know. He could have had 2 Z Memento users.
Well, no, because only the main Z captain can use the Z Memento.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then I think he would have to use his last pickup to actually swap the Z captain. So.
Oh, that's true too. Who knows? James will use his next pickup next week and drop Delibird for something else.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he's just doing this to get a reaction. Like maybe he already knows his team for next week.
Just yikes.
With that, I believe the last thing we have is the Commish Picks.
Let's go. Well, it's the Commish Picks and the matchups. It's everything.
It's everything, yeah.
Because we talk about who we pick here, and it's the first round of the bye weeks, right? Except not for me.
It's the break week, so we've only got 5 matches this week. So first match, let's look at LCD and Murphy. Murphy got the better of LCD last time. It was an Excadrill sweep, I believe.
I'm picking Murphy. His team's stupid.
I am going to also pick Murphy because I think Murphy's tanks just kind of sit on LCD and he doesn't have a great answer.
Yeah.
So that's a 2 for Murphy. I will get Bix picks afterwards and edit it in post. All right. Nijia against M1. Nijia closed this out the first time.
I'm picking Nijia.
You're picking Nijia?
Yeah.
I'll pick M1. I'll pick M1. I think M1 can do it. Tristan against Jim.
Jim.
I'm gonna
No,
pick Jim
wait.
as well.
Yeah, Jim.
Oh.
Jim. Dan.
Mike against Dan. I didn't even read out the next match, and you're
It's
ahead
Dan.
of you. You're saying Dan?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say Dan.
Yep, it's Dan.
And the last week one rematch, Bick against Manny.
Oh, Manny.
I am gonna pick Bick.
I gotta pick my boy.
All right. Those are our 5 matches for the first bye week of the PFL. So there's one last thing for me to ask you. Mike, is this the most important week of the season?
Oh, it's easily the most important week of the season, Jim. Dan could lose his grip on this division if by somehow I beat him. Half the league is on a break, so they're all just chilling. The other half is fighting so that they can chill next week and hopefully be in a good spot. We see just so many good matches that are going to happen. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be nuts. It's the most important week of the season, boys.
It's the most important week of the season. It's the midway point of the season. This is where you determine whether or not you're going to buckle down and get into playoffs. You're going to pull yourself out of a potentially 1-3 spot, potentially a 6-3 spot if you play your cards right.
Exactly. Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
So that concludes this week of Inside the PFL. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and see you next week.
See you Tuesday, everyone.
See you Tuesday.